Hello, it is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022 at 1900 hours Eastern Time, USA. This is my video journal. I'm Mitch Miller, and I got some clarification on generals. There is a rank of 5-star general, but there hasn't been one since 1980 or 1981 when General Bradley died. So far I've only challenged living members of the military, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and 5-star generals. Maybe in other countries there's 5-star generals, but I'm pretty much focused on the United States military. Apparently there's 44 4-star generals. So today I'm going to challenge 4-star generals in the United States military. Any active duty 4-star generals in the United States military, I challenge you to a duel. The form I would like to take, due to your age, is a pistol duel with non-lethal pistols, compressed air-powered paintball pistols. If you provide the prototypes, I do not have the funding right now to provide the prototypes, otherwise I would. If not, the duel can take the format of a wrestling match, scholastic wrestling rules. If I win the duel, you have to try to find funding in your budget to fund my weapons company that starts with sets of dueling pistols. If you cannot find the funding, you must use some of your personal assets to fund my company. I will exchange you either a stock certificate in the company or a piece of my art. That is all I have to offer you at this time. If you win, you get, for each general that wins a duel against me, I will wait 6 months to challenge the next lowest rank in the military. If I lose, I'll wait 6 months. You will also receive a piece of art for free, either a painting or a piece of photography. And you will not be considered a coward. If you do not accept my duel, you are a coward, and the any death at the hands due to an act of war will be on your hands. Any death worldwide due to an act of war will be on your hands for not justifying and validating this type of modern warfare, one that uses marksmanship and or combat, hand-to-hand combat strategies to accomplish the same goals as any other form of war. So you have 7 days before I challenge 3-star generals in the United States military. I laid out in the last a couple videos ago where these duels should take place, approximately 150 miles along the bicycle trail between Washington, D.C. and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or I have locations in northwestern Pennsylvania that are suitable. Contact me, we'll set up camp, and we will have a duel. It can be a friendly duel, or it can be taken very seriously. Somehow I gotta get practice, and the reason I'm pushing for these prototypes is my grandfather, Bob Miller, custom camouflage paints shotguns for turkey season. They're auctioned off at the Utica gun raffle. He also does them for private collectors. He signs them He's 90 years old, and I don't know how much longer he's going to make it and still be able to do these custom spray painted camouflage guns. I'd like to have a set of dueling pistols before he passes away that I can get his custom paint job on for my dueling paintball compressed air pistols. But the military's dragging its feet. They don't want to embrace this form of warfare, even though they can keep all their guns and weapons and everything else as a fallback if the whole world doesn't embrace this new form of warfare that has less bloodshed and much less death. So I want to talk about economics. Here's my simple breakdown of economics. The strongest economy you could ever have in one nation is one made up of small business and regional businesses. The strongest being an economy entirely made up of small business that employs the most amount of people, has the most working parts, the most amount of people have to communicate, go back and forth, employ people to communicate with various different businesses. It's the most complex economy and strongest. Next would be all made up of regional businesses and small business. Again, you limit the size of business, you get a stronger economy because there's more working parts, more people employed. The weakest economy is one made up of giant businesses too big to fail that cater all the needs of the people. You can see this in communism with state-run businesses that seek to supply all the needs of the people of the country. You can see this in the United States in our own form of communism. I call it corporate communism, where only a few major corporations provide all of our needs. This is a very weak economy. It does not encourage innovation. It drives down the wages of the workers, and it creates automation in all different sectors, taking away human jobs. Now, with technology, if we had an economy made up of all small businesses, we could have coalitions. So my example is McDonald's. They have the ice cream machines that break. McDonald's has thousands of locations and thousands of ice cream machines. They could commission and use their massive corporation to design the perfect ice cream machine that works perfectly and lasts the longest. But because they're a corporation in a capitalist society, they're going to protect that design and not allow other businesses to use it. If it was all small diners, they could form a coalition to commission to use thousands of locations like a McDonald's to have input and design the perfect ice cream machine that lasts for 50 years, breaks down very little. So that's how technology can help small businesses get the machinery they need. That's the argument for these large corporations. You need the capital to outfit all of these locations with the right machinery, and you just don't get that capital if you're a small business owner. The point of this economics lesson is that I want to critique the Republican Party. I agree with some conservative ideas, like I think the fact that we don't need wireless waves all the time is kind of a conservative idea. Comes from the idea that we live fine without wireless waves everywhere, and that we're jumping headlong into a future where everyone's addicted to them. There's other aspects. I guess my point is, good ideas come from both parties, Democrat and Republican. Being fiscally conservative is a good idea, not to run up a huge deficit, national deficit. But I'll make this argument. I've kind of turned a different side of that now. If underdeveloped nations, if developing nations buy our debt, they're guaranteed a payment from the United States government on time, which can help boost their banking industry and help them foster their own small businesses within that country. So us running up a national debt to underdeveloped nations actually stabilizes other nations and the world economy. Now, Republicans will say, we don't need to run up a deficit. Our good white-collar executives are going to spread American business ideals to other countries. They'll open the gateways through business, and that'll stabilize these countries. But in reality, these corporations do exactly what they do here in the United States. They exploit the workers, they exploit the environment, they exploit safety conditions, which causes people to hate the United States. You're much better off with going through the banking industry and stabilizing through deficit spending, in my opinion. So my fault with the Republican Party is that they're the party of big business and not small business. And they're the party of kings. We saw it. We saw Trump. He wanted to hold on to power illegally, like a king. He wanted to be king of the United States. And he had a bunch of followers that were willing to fight for that. They're the party of kings. They believe that a bunch of billionaires are looking out for our best interests instead of a duly elected, democratically elected government. They believe that just a few billionaires should run the whole country and give us all of our goods. And they're kings. Just because they're not just one ruling the whole country doesn't mean that they're not kings in their own right. I mean, Amazon provides all of the goods for some people, that they are reliant on a king for everything. They're the party of kings and not small business. If the Republican Party deregulated small business, and here's my argument, big business needs regulation. Why? Because, and I don't agree with this, we've made everyone's retirement reliant on the stock market. Okay? So, everyone has a 401k for their retirement, and that runs off the stock market. So these big publicly traded businesses should be regulated to protect everyone's retirement. But nobody's invested in small businesses. They're not publicly traded. So let's make it easy for you to start a small business. Let's make the taxes and regulations for starting a small business very low and very easy to accomplish. That's what the Republican Party should do. Deregulate small business. Nobody wants to poison someone with their restaurant. Nobody wants to give someone food poisoning. It's in their best interest to have the highest standards of food preparation. So, do we need government inspectors in there? No, I think we could have private sector inspectors. I think we could use technology to have restaurants voluntarily allow inspections. I just don't understand why working class people want kings to rule the country. So that's my issue with the Republican Party. It's the party of kings. It's corporate communism. They want to deregulate big business, untax the wealthy, so that they can rule as kings and give us everything we need. When I've proven, I've had a million ideas for ways we could use technology that it's not being used because it's not the most profitable way. Those kings aren't going to be able to line the pockets as deeply as they want, so they won't fund it. It's the party of kings. We saw it. We saw Donald Trump try to seize power and become king of the United States. So that's my critique of the Republican Party. And join me next time, or fund me. Go to my websites, fund my GoFundMe, please, or accept my pistol duel. I'm waiting to start this weapons company with your money, your funding. I'll deliver these dueling pistols. The peace treaty is going public after the 22nd of July. Have a good 4th of July. I'll probably see you next Wednesday. And thanks for watching.